I just wanted to, start to pass on the good wishes of the Foreign Minister. I was talking to Murray McCully this morning. He's in Queenstown, and he passes his regret that he can't be here, but he's very pleased to know that this auspicious occasion is being celebrated in this way. I want to acknowledge my colleague Penny Ridings, our former ambassador to Poland. She keeps the Foreign Ministry on the straight and narrow in ensuring that we're paying due attention to a very important relationship. And of course, Caroline Bilke, our Chief of Protocol, also Winston Dillmer, your Honorary Consul, I know does great work in advancing things Polish New Zealand here. And many other friends who in lots of ways contribute to, I think, this very vibrant connection. I think it's wonderful that your survey of the sort of the history of the relationship, both in its length, but also in its breadth, and particularly the contemporary nature of it, the sorts of things that we're doing both in the government sector, but much more broadly amongst communities and culture and arts, and the sort of connections we have people to people. I think that just it points to a very vibrant and real relationship. And certainly in the government sector, we follow very closely and benefit from a lot of the initiatives that we now have in place, working holiday schemes, the sort of cooperation we have with Polish forces in Afghanistan, the work that we do with Polish delegations all around the world, but particularly in Europe on a whole range of European issues. So for two countries who geographically, of course, are very, very far apart, have very different histories, I think it sort of sends a very powerful signal to many other parts of the world that despite those differences, that we have built a relationship which is of value, which is built on a shared history and a shared way of doing things as people. I think that, of course, in the New Zealand psyche, the wonderful contribution the Polish community has made here, and I know that it's sort of you go down to the waterfront here and see where the Polish children came ashore in 1944, and to know how they were taken into the homes of New Zealanders in Kaiatua, and then the way in which they've sort of moved on into the New Zealand community and made such a strong and impressive contribution. I wanted to thank, especially just to acknowledge Beata, you and Stan, for the wonderful contribution you've made in your time here, and we hope it's got a long time to run. But in building on the relationship between our two governments, it's been really wonderful. You're well known in the community. You're well respected, and I think it's added tremendously. So thank you very much for that. Chris, thank you very much for what Emirates is doing and its way to link the two countries, and I think your generosity today is wonderful. I think that it's a bit hard to follow, your survey of the relationship and your generosity. But what I've come with is a letter from the Foreign Minister. So it's a very New Zealand thing. But anyway, I think that in the 21st century, that's as connected as it is. Airlines are just such a critical part of strengthening those relationships, and the fact that we've moved to a place where you can get on a plane in Auckland and stay with the same airline all the way through to Warsaw is wonderful. Duncan, congratulations. I think this is speaks volume to New Zealand creativity and Polish forethought to organise the competition, and I think it's a great leveraging of that Polish-New Zealand relationship. So we wish you all the best. I look forward to raising a glass in a moment to congratulate, to acknowledge this 40th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations. And I have a letter here, Beata, from Foreign Minister McCully to exchange.
Yes, and I have a letter from Minister Sikorski to Minister McCully to exchange as well. So it is my great pleasure and honor to do this. So congratulations. Thank you very much.
We'll swap notes.
Yes, yes. It's a glass.